friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Holly with the Nestle Valley Farmhouse, and today we're going to do some April homemaking. So today I'm going to be talking about kind of our menu, kind of what our plans are for April, what things, also a little bit of a budget update, kind of where we're at with things, our menu, and then of course talking about our restocks and kind of updates on my pantry. So if that stuff seems interesting to you, then stay tuned. All right, so of course, first things first is kind of getting my kitchen cleaned up. So April is finally here by the time this video comes out, and I am excited, but also kind of nervous. So some changes that have happened. So the kids had basketball practices all pretty much through February and January and games. And then we had a few weeks off. Softball practices have actually already started. They started about mid-March. And then my son's baseball started at the end of March. So we are knee deep into practices again. I'm having a little bit harder time this time around kind of managing it because practices start at 5 and they go till like 5 to 6:30, which is literally like when we eat dinner. So I am trying to get creative on ways. I mean, right now what I've been doing is either packing like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or some sort of quick snack, protein bars I did one time. Or I'm trying to literally cook dinner at like 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, so that it's ready by 4:30 so I can feed everybody before we get out the door. So as you can see, I've started also, because we've been so busy in the evenings, I've just kind of left my kitchen, which I know is not ideal, but this is just reality of our season of life that we're in. So I'm actually cleaning up the kitchen right now from last night. And so today's Thursday, it's laundry day, so I got some laundry to do, and I have, my goal is to do some cleaning upstairs. I also have grocery run, and then my biggest thing today is I'm getting my April menu ready. So I'm working on that and then trying to just kind of get a few things done. I feel like with practices kind of being kind of all over the place the last couple weeks, I've really been struggling with staying on top of like my homemaking routine, so to speak. And I guess this is one thing I've talked about before about just being more flexible. I'm trying to just understanding the season of life, and it's just this season is going to be the next 2 months or so, because I think they will have things shift. So they have practices right now, and then things will shift to where they'll just have games. For my son, it'll just be one game, one evening a week, and then one game on the weekend, and the same for my daughters, I think. I haven't quite figured that out yet. So I'm kind of gearing up for that, just trying to figure out how to make it all work, for lack of better words. So a lot of it happens is I'm kind of putting things. So I've been kind of putting, just trying to like adjust my expectations for that. So, and also during this time of the year, kind of, we get our tax returns and kind of our budget changes a little bit too, because we've been kind of on like bare bones budget, and our gas budget went up this last winter because we bought an Excursion. I know I told you all about that in previous videos. Long story short, my husband's truck broke down, had to buy a new vehicle, had to buy a vehicle to fit all of us. So, and I've actually been driving that, and he's been driving the minivan throughout the winter because he uses a motorcycle in the spring and summer and fall, like when the weather's good. And of course, you know, even in March, the weather has not been as good as we thought it'd be. We had that snowstorm and stuff. So I'm looking forward to hopefully our budget kind of freeing up a little bit. We did get our tax return. We did pay off the debt that we had from the barn, which was kind of frustrating because we don't really have much to show for it, but that's also just kind of the reality of life. Like, setbacks happen. So we're kind of slowly working towards just getting ourselves on a better financial footing. I actually made a couple extra savings accounts in our bank account, one for vacations because we have some camping trips this year, and then one for birthdays. And I'm actually going to be putting a little bit of money each month into those just to kind of help build up those, I guess they call them sinking funds. So now I am making my April menu. So I do have a printer, it does work, but I've just found that making them by hand has just been more fun for me. I use my binder. If you are a full-time homemaker like me, I suggest you find some sort of binder system that works for you. This one I've kind of done on my own. I basically put dividers in it. I have a meal planning divider, I have a vacation planning divider, I have a budget divider. I just have all the things that I can think to have so that we can kind of figure out, I can just stay on top of everything because it's how I stay organized. And then of course I have like a weekly planner that I use it's a year planner, but I use it for my weekly stuff. This is kind of like the bigger picture stuff, if that makes sense. So I'm just filling in my calendar. I still be doing pretty much similar static breakfasts and lunches. I do switch them up a little bit, and probably more so when summer comes, I'll be switching them up because I'll have more kids home, and it might be a few recipes that I might whip up, like my kids like egg salad, chicken salad. Those are things that I start to make in the summer because it's just easier for me. So I'm just filling in all my stuff for the month. I get a lot of my recipe ideas from Pinterest mostly, and then just kind of family favorites that I have. I actually have another separate notebook. I have a few notebooks if you haven't noticed. I have a separate notebook that I basically have written down like family recipes and stuff that we like make all the time. Like the 30-minute dinner rolls and stuff like that. And my oldest was actually home from school today, and so she was working on her schoolwork, and that's why you might see her pop in here and there. I do find that it's been really helpful for me to kind of have extra places to find all my recipes. Like having a notebook that I can write down recipes, even ones from the internet that I really like, that I want to keep in one spot. All right, so April meals are all done. So I don't know if you can read my terrible handwriting. So basically the themes for this month are, we do Mandarin Monday, Taco Tuesday, Wholesome Wednesday, Soup Salad Thursday, and then of course Pizza Friday. And then I've been doing Crock Pot Saturdays. So April we have another month of, April we have another softball game start. In I think it's the 13th because our spring break is the week before that, so they don't have games. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be doing crock pot meals again, because that's just the easiest thing for me to do. And waffles is kind of because Saturday morning we generally have more time, so waffles I generally do every Saturday morning. And they're actually really quick and easy for me to do. I have a really good homemade recipe from the Better Homes and Gardens, like 1950s cookbook that I love, that we eat. And it's something like I can fry up eggs with it, or bacon or sausage, and like you can have like protein with it. So we're doing that for Saturdays. And then Mondays, like I said, we have options like, I'll flip it around and show you again. So we're gonna do honey garlic chicken, Korean beef bowls, black pepper beef, which is kind of like a spicy, slightly spicy Asian dish, and then Thai peanut chicken. And then we're gonna do chicken lettuce wraps for the 29th. Then for Tuesday, we've got Taco Tuesday, enchiladas, nacho casserole. This is really easy. I can link the recipe below. I kind of modify it to myself. Burrito bowls, and then we'll probably do tacos again, or maybe just another kind of Mexican dish. All right, meatloaf, mashed potatoes on Wednesday, spaghetti, Alfredo, and hamburger helper. This is the Farmhouse on Boone hamburger helper. It is my favorite. That's what we do instead of like buying the box stuff, because the box stuff's ridiculous. And then I'm doing two soups for this month. I'm doing a chicken and rice soup, and then we're gonna do Big Mac salad on the next week. Hey guys. And then we're going to do chicken and dumpling soup, and then taco salad. And then one thing that I want to implement this month, now that we don't have any practice on Fridays, which is great because I feel like having 2 practices on Fridays throughout the winter was killer. I want to start implementing, like, my son's birthday is actually tomorrow. I'm really excited. So we're going to do a family movie night on Friday nights. So we always have some sort of variation of pizza. I like to make a stromboli, and basically trying to, the kids, you know, I try to film and they're like, let's be loud. Oh, okay, I'll get you more in just a second. And we're gonna have, basically, I like to make homemade pizza. So we do homemade pizza or homemade stromboli on Friday nights. That works out really well for us, perfect. And so that's kind of what we're doing for this month, and this is our April menu. All right, so now I am moving on to restocks and kind of my pantry, throwing on the apron because I got this new linen shirt from Shein and I absolutely love it. I love the texture of linen. I didn't realize how much I would like linen, so now I'm gonna like order a bunch more. Side note, but I just had to say that. It's like becoming one of my favorite shirts. So I'm trying a different bulk pancake recipe this time because the last one I liked, but I just noticed that like with the waffles especially, it would make them really on the dark side whenever I put them in my waffle maker. So I'm gonna try this one, see if it's a little bit different. It worked well for pancakes and muffins, and so it might just be that I just use my actual waffle recipe from my home, Better Homes and Gardens instead, because it just was a little bit easier, and I wanted to make sure that like like, it just makes the waffles just come out perfect. So I'm a little bit partial to it. So this one is only, I doubled the recipe, but it's only 8 cups versus 12 like my last one. So it won't be as full, but we'll kind of see how far it stretches, so to speak. And I found putting all the ingredients in a big bowl, mixing it up, and then putting it in the container is better than just trying to do it all in the container, because obviously you can mix and like evenly distribute your dry ingredients versus not, if that makes any sense. So now I'm just sticking it in my container, and as you can see on the front, I basically wrote down the 3 quote-unquote recipes using this mix. I do pancakes with this recipe, I've done waffles, and I do chocolate chip muffins. Have kind of become our Sunday morning breakfast. Super easy, something that the kids will eat. A lot of times they're kind of heading off to church, and so depending on what time we go to church, like, it just, sometimes my kids are slow movers in the morning, so throwing a muffin at them as we're driving off is a lot easier than not, I guess I should say. So that's just gonna sit on my counter for now, and that will be what I will use throughout the next, last month it lasted me about 2, maybe 2.5 weeks. So we'll see how long it lasts me. I might have to do it twice each month. We'll see. So now I'm just restocking. I needed to restock my flour, sugar, and rice. And so my flour is, I always have to restock this. I'm restocking it probably every, like, twice a month, maybe even 3 times, depending on how much baking I'm doing. And so we'll be, you know, so it just kind of depends, but that's why I have 2 5-gallon buckets of flour, because we definitely go through a lot more flour. I think I probably go through about 25 pounds of flour a month if I think about it. So that's kind of what I do. And then I have my sugar bucket. And so how I organize my pantry, or how I've been doing it lately that has been working well for me, is to basically have so for my flour, I have 2 5-gallon buckets that I swap out, and then I have 1 extra bag of flour on the top shelf. For my sugar, I just have 1 5-gallon bucket, and as you can see, I used up all the sugar there. And then I got the another bag up top. And it's the same thing with rice. We don't go through obviously as much sugar and rice every month as we do flour. So just kind of using that, my goal is to have, like I said, I want to have about 3 months supply. And since for flour, I do that by having the 2 buckets plus the 1, the 1 bag up top. But for rice, I think we're probably getting more than 3 months on the 2 bag, basically the bucket plus the bag, and the same with the sugar. So it works out well. I feel like it's really been nice to have just kind of the organization that way. And I feel like it helps me save money, and because I'll sometimes like buy flour and then forget that I already have it. So it kind of helps me save money in that respect. So Kiva had to help me put all the stuff away because she's so helpful. And so we're kind of just getting the restocks. So the only room I was able to get tackled upstairs today was actually Corbin's bedroom. I think just kind of readjusting to this practice schedule is really taking a lot out of me. So like I've said before, I'm trying to be realistic, being honest with you guys. Like, this is just reality. Sometimes this is all I get done is like 1 room. And side note, we ended up rehoming our goats. There was a family whose llama lost his goat friend, and so they needed some goats. And so we decided to sell them to them. And it worked out really well because they're really nice people, and I'm really glad they went to a good home. So of course, picked up my milk from the milk lady. And then I actually bought these totes because I'm going to be doing an organizing kids' clothes soon. I will actually film that and kind of talk about it with you guys so that you can kind of see how I, stay on top of the overwhelming mountain of kids' clothes that generally happens, because we have hand-me-downs from all the family members, which I 100% appreciate. But it's a lot. And so I'll kind of show you how I've organized and how I've kind of gone through stuff. So now I'm just putting all the groceries away for the week and the weekend. So I'm really excited. We're getting close to being done with all my chores for today, and then I'm going to go relax for sure. So I'm finishing up, and I'm going to put these totes in my bedroom until I have time, because spring break's coming up for my kiddos, and I'm hoping to have some extra time to be able to work on getting this stuff out. Oh, so that was a busy day. Got a lot done. I feel like I still have more to go, but I'm stopping here for now and taking a break. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.